Welcome to Reel Kiwi Fishing. This week my sister and I back out on a little venture off the sand. What I thought we'd do today is something a little bit different. We love fishing Muriwai, nice and small swell today, and we were very tempted to go out that way, but I wanted to try something different, go somewhere new. Well, not new, it's actually an old spot that I've fished probably about 35 years ago. The island behind me is actually an island that my dad used to actually swim out to on his surfboard, him and a mate, with a handline and a sack, and they used to crawl around to the front and just chuck a handline in, catch some nice big snapper up around that 10-15 pound, and then paddle back. These days you can just about cross over to it without even getting wet. Not actually sure if you can actually get across there. There is a channel that runs around it. So it's an old school spot. Used to get some nice fish here, and I haven't fished it for about 35 years. Found a nice little bank out here that we're going to go and fish on the low tide. There's a hole up this end that we'll probably go and have a fish over that higher tide. Got a couple of guys up here as well, but yeah, out and about on a little adventure today, fishing an old school spot. Hopefully get into a few fish. Hope you guys enjoy. Hooked up to our first fish. We were fishing a little bank on the low tide, and the tide's coming in, so we got pushed off. We've just moved down into this little hole. There was a little hole here on the low tide, and I thought we'll have a shot there on this incoming tide. We're just starting to get a few bites. Got the Kortari rod again today, and I'm hooked up. Not too sure what it is, maybe a kahawai, but if we're lucky, might be a snapper. That hole out in front of us is probably only about, I don't know, chest deep. Ooh. It's fighting a bit. Might be a snapper, man. It's a snapper. Yeah, boy! Our first snapper. It's not a bad one either. It's not small, it's not big, but it's just right. Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. How's that? It's not big. He's not a bad fish for off the beach. Just in this nice little hole. Got it on the Kortari. That hole's just starting to fill up. It's only out about maybe 50-60 meters. That wave's breaking on the outer shelf, it'll disappear. It's hit the hole there, and that's where we're casting into that little hole. So you got that wave breaking there. It's on the outer bank that we were fishing before, further up there. Got pushed off, and now we've come down into this little hole, and that's the result. Hooked up again. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. It's just a small fish. Actually feels like a kahawai this time. Jen's been getting a few bites, a few nibbles. I'm just hoping for a few more snapper, so we're not just taking the one home. Yeah, little kahawai. Just a little kahawai. It's like a little white bait. So we'll let him go. He's shooting away. Gone. So yeah, we just got that little hole out here. Starting to produce a few fish. We're hoping a few more snapper. Bit of a bummer sometimes when you catch that one and that's all you get, but we definitely get heaps of bites. Really quiet on that low tide. It's a spot that I haven't fished here for years, and I didn't know what tide would be working for us, and it actually looks like that higher tide and these little gutters, little holes here holding fish. We were up here by the island when we first started, and I was walking out to that outer bank, didn't really get anything. So what we did was I saw this little hole down here when I was up there. Tide turned, pushed us off the bank, and we moved down into this little hole. And now that the hole's filled up, the fish are able to actually come in over that outer bank and sit in that little hole. So yeah, we'll try a few more baits, hopefully pick up a few more snapper. It's been fun anyway. Just got to get Jen onto a few fish. Would be nice, but she's enjoying the day. Don't have to catch fish all the time to enjoy the day, especially when you're in a place like this. But yeah, hopefully we can get Jen onto a few fish as well. She's been getting a few bites. So we'll just hang here for a little while and see what happens. Hopefully I can still get out into that hole as the tide comes in. It's not that far out, it's probably only about sort of 60 metres, so I'm able to cast to it at the moment. Yeah, Jen's hooked up! She was walking back to the car and she's hooked up! She had to run all the way back. Let's hope it's a snapper. It looks like a snapper. Could be a nice fish. Yeah, it's a good fish, man. Put your back into it. Put your hand up here a bit if you want. Yeah. Yeah, go Jen! She was about 200 metres up the beach. I was casting my line out and I looked back and her rod was, she saw it, she was running back. Can't lose it, man.
I know.
It's taking line. It's not another kingy, is it? Fish of the day, fish of the day.
I landed up on your little scratch.
Yeah. Might be a big trevally. It's been pretty slow when we first started. Came here on the low tide. Oh, it's a nice snapper, Jen. It's a nice snapper. Yeah. Or a big trevally. I think it's a snapper. Yeah, boy! Keep winding. Oh, it's a stonker. It's not big, but it's a good fish, man. How's that? Jen had to run 200 metres, 300 metres. Lucky she didn't lose it. There you go, nice fish, real nice, probably up around close to 60 centimetres I would say. Not sure if you can hear me, it's real windy. A nice fish. taking photos of Jen's fish. And the rod started going. The kotare was going off. Not as big as Jen's. Jen's got fish of the day. But it feels snapperish. That hole's starting to produce really well now. Every bait getting the fish. It's coming in. Remember to always walk down to your fish. Keep that tension on. It's coming in through the waves. Otherwise you could lose him. There he is. Another little snapper boy. Not a biggie, but a keepy. He's probably around that 37, 38. Man, we're having a blast out on our little adventure. We were thinking of Muriwai, but we changed it up, headed somewhere different, and now we're getting the rewards. Just running the old dropper rigs. Got a 5 ounce, running a 5 ounce today. Get out onto that into that hole, and just the 2 hooks. Running the keeper. Jen's just got the standard, just 1 hook. But yeah, another nice little fish for the bin. It's going off, and Jen wants to go home. Well, guys, pretty much going to call it a day. It's been an awesome day. It's been awesome to come out to an old haunt and actually still catch some nice fish. Jen got that real nice fish up around that 60 centimetres, so pretty stoked on that. And it's good to see that the old spot's still firing and holding some real nice fish. And like I was saying, the old man used to paddle out here to the island years ago when I was a kid and take the old sack and the handline and catch a few nice fish, sort of 10-15 pounders, and then paddle back over with his friend. So it's pretty awesome to come out to a old school spot, and it still produces today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a little bit short and sharp, but we've had an awesome day, awesome little adventure. Till next time, tight lines. Thanks for watching another great day out fishing with Reel Kiwi Fishing. And you can also find more of my movies on my YouTube channel, Reel Kiwi Fishing.